is here. This is your main event, Mark's Bonus Podcast, brought to you by Belly Up Unhinged Radio Network Sports. I am your first host, lifelong wrestling fan, former radio guy, and cat dad. I am Troy, and with me as always, he is the main event collector and figure hunting warrior. He is the WCW watcher of classic wrestling, and the Scott Steiner to my Buff Bagwell. He's Greg. What's up, Greg?
I'll make him bleed.
Good Lord. You're like, he's fat. Who's fat? Him. Oh man. You gonna cross your I's and dot your T's?
Oh man, yeah. I was surprised how tame he was at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know, right? And he said the thing everybody was thinking. He was like, "Give me a live mic, huh? That could go really good or really bad."
I think, personally, I think he just kept it clean for his nephew.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, he's not for as much as like he's a meme and everything now, and he's known for it's a crazy Scott Steiner. Everything I heard from like fans and everything, they say he's a super cool dude, and I mean, Jim Cornette was talking about. He's like, he's a college graduate. He's very intelligent. He's not like some freaking idiot like people seem to think he is. I said the same.
People said the same thing about Richard Sherman. The cornerback who was on the Seahawks and the Niners.
Oh yeah.
You remember that famous thing where he went off on Aaron Andrews about Crabtree? Don't you ever talk about me? Like, you guys know, like, this guy's it's like literally a genius. He graduated from Stanford with honors. Like, it could just be an act, folks. Let's just remember that.
Yeah, and Stanford doesn't exactly just hand out diplomas, like whatever. Good grief.
Sometimes don't just go off what you see on TV or YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, right. I mean,
That's
Rick Steiner. If you watch Rick Steiner back in like the late 80s and early 90s, you're like, man, this dude's a freaking goofball. But in real life, like now, he seems more tame. But like, he's a highly intelligent dude too. And, I think he was a teacher for a while and does real estate and all that stuff. So I mean, the Steiners are intelligent guys. Well, Scotty's looking freaking old though, man. Like when he came out for the Hall of Fame,
Rick looks like he hasn't aged very little, if at all. It's crazy.
Yeah, it looked like he aged a little bit since WCW. Obviously, dropped some, muscle mass or whatever. But he looks freaking good for his age. Looks like so different, but yeah. Especially think about the people who haven't seen him since WCW, or probably since his run in WWE. Probably like, man. But anyway, today we are going
we're
back
doing a show.
Yeah, right. It's the sidebar. But anyway, today we are talking about WCW in the year 2000, the spring of 2000, actually.
Yeah.
As Tony Schiavone calls it, a coffin on roller skates.
This is worse than WWE 1995, I think.
Oh, yeah, because that was just kind of boring. This is, like, awful. Like, WWE in 2000 or 95 actually had some shining lights to it. Not many, but, you could find a few.
Diesel. I love Diesel. I don't care what anyone says. That was a fun run.
Bret Hart did he wasn't always given the greatest dance partners in 95, but, when he was, he made some good, he made magic. Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon. I mean, there was some good stuff in there. And, then we go to WCW in 2000. This is 5 years. Well, not quite 5 years since the creation of Nitro, because that comes around the summer of 95, doesn't it?
September 95. So yeah, Labor Day. I think Labor Day is first.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because Fall Brawl was the first pay-per-view after, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So it's about 4.5 years, give or take, since the creation of Nitro, and this company's just tanking, man. It's
we need help, bro.
Yeah. They had, and just to put things in perspective here, a good companion piece to this, if anybody goes back and listens to our other bonus show, I can't remember when we did it. I think it might have been late last year. Was it December or November? One of them, the Vince Russo episode. It's titled Vince Russo runs WCW ... into the ground. And
no, he didn't, bro. No, I was other things. He'll tell you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that episode, we cover Russo's run from when he shows up at the end of October of 99 until when he's gone forever, bro, Unfortunately not. But when he's gone,
It's gone
at the
for a
end,
minute, bro.
yeah, at the end of January, and then we kind of wrap it up from there. And then he's gone from the end of January until now. This is the show when he comes back. And keep in mind, until the show, he'd never actually been seen on camera. Like, you can see his arms. Yeah, you can see his arms, his back, whatever, sitting in a chair. But you don't see his face. He's not actually called Vince Russo. He's the powers that be. It's stupid. If anybody wants to know more, go listen to the Vince Russo episode. It's informative.
Because we all know you want more of that.
Well, exactly. I mean, you joke. It's one of our most listened to episodes. So,
yeah.
Thank you all, I guess. Yeah, I guess you really do enjoy crap. So,
right. It helps.
Hey, we have fun with it. And sometimes, you and I like covering good shows sometimes, obviously, for our own sanity. But those ones, it's like, yeah, this was really good. I like that. This happened. All right. Stuff like this, we can make fun of. And I feel like we got more material to work with here. So, but either way, we do have a lot of news and notes to cover. But before we do that, time out here real quick to let you know that the Main Event Marks is sponsored by Swift Lifestyles. They are clean energy drinks and focus enhancers, great tasting vitamins, and big brain nootropics that are made and shipped from the USA. Go to swiftlifestyles.com and use our special promo code Main Event Marks, all one word, to get 15% off your order. It's Main Event Marks, all one word, to get 15% off your order at checkout. But now we're going to take our first break of the podcast. On the other end of this, we're going to dive into the news and notes from early April of 2000, right after this. Follow the Main Event Marks at facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector. Get ready to rumble in your new Main Event Marks merchandise. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, masks, hats, stickers, pins, and much more on our Redbubble store. That's maineventmarks.redbubble.com. You can also pick up some awesome clothing items with the latest updated show graphics on our Bonfire store. That's bonfire.com/store/main event marks. Support your favorite retro wrestling podcast and pick up some cool swag on our Bonfire and Redbubble stores. That's maineventmarks.redbubble.com and bonfire.com/store/main event marks.
This message is brought to you by Belly Up Sports. No, just kidding. This is not an NWO promo. This is just me, Kyle Sullivan, aka Shaggy Von Doom, the host of Here in Puckburg on the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. I have a hockey podcast where we talk about hockey fandom and the love of the game and where that leads you in this game we call life. Why am I on Main Event Marks telling you about this? Well, what if I told you I had one half of the world's greatest tag team, otherwise known as the Main Event Marks, the one and only Greg, Superfly Greg. He was on, and he was talking about his love of the game. So you might want to come over and check that episode out. And if you like what you hear, you can check out the rest of our incredible episodes with our incredible hockey community, from PHF athletes, ESPN personalities, fathers of NHL players, and a whole lot more. Come by, follow the show, give a like, give a subscribe, and it'd be great to have you here in Puckburg. But enough about me. Let's get back to what you're really here for, the Main Event Marks, because they are the cream of the crop. Oh, yeah.
Event Marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/Main Event Marks. And we're back.
And we're back.
Real quick, we want to let you know that the Main Event Marks is sponsored by Shocked Energy. Shocked Energy is a healthier alternative to traditional energy drinks that gives the energy that gamers need while in a long session without skimping on their health. Their products come in a powder form, and you mix them into water. You can either choose from green apple or watermelon. You can also try both if you get their sample kit. Use our special link that is down in the podcast description, or you can simply go to shockedenergy.com at checkout. Use the promo code main event, all one word, to save 10% on your order. That's promo code main event, and you're going to save 10% at checkout. It is news and notes time here. First of all, WrestleMania 2000, aka WrestleMania 16, is in the books. And Uncle Dave Meltzer says that it wasn't even as good as an average episode of Raw. However, it's going to end up being the biggest money-drawing event in the history of pro wrestling. Vince McMahon turned heel to allow Triple H to retain the title in the main event. The WWF added an extra hour, plus the live Heat pre-show. This means that the whole event was more than 4 hours, which is just too long for a crowd to sit in an arena and still be energetic, according to Uncle Dave. Just wait for 19 more years. WrestleMania 35 was what, 7-8 hours, something like that?
Yeah, I was there. So let's see. We got there at 4 o'clock. We didn't get out at 12. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Terry versus the Cat was literally the only singles match on the entire card, and it was a horrible embarrassment of a match. It was an abomination.
Yeah. I mean, because I expected that match to be amazing. Yeah.
Well, of course, nobody expected it to be or to be good, but yikes. The crowd was dead for most of the show, which also didn't help. The live gate of over $1.3 million was the fourth highest grossing in American history. They also set an all-time merchandise record, and it's surely to be an all-timer when the buy rate comes in. Yeah, so I didn't like WrestleMania 16 at all, but it was still a success. So you don't have to like it. It still made a ton of money, and
I don't think anyone likes those Twilight movies, but they sell billions, so
yeah.
What do you know, Uncle Douche? Dave? I mean, sorry.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't think those what are the 50 Shades movies? I guarantee those are not good movies by like any objective standard, but I guarantee they made a lot of money. So same as your point with the Twilight things. But yeah, so this is I don't know. What do you remember about WrestleMania 2000? I mean, anything good on your end?
Yeah, the ladder match.
Yes, the ladder match was really good.
The triple threat with Jericho and Benoit Angle was pretty good.
Yeah, that's right. That one gets forgotten because of, I think, the ladder match was so popular.
Heroes get the stink face. That's kind of funny, I guess.
Right. That main event, though, was fatal or four-way elimination, right? Big Show, Mick Foley, Rock, and Triple H. McMahon in every corner. Yeah,
that was intriguing. It wasn't that bad. He's overdoing it.
Yeah. Wasn't Big Show the first out? Or
he
no?
Was. Yeah.
Or yeah. Okay, and then Foley, right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, Triple H ends up getting the title in the end. So there you go.
First heel to leave WrestleMania with the title.
Wow, that's crazy to think about. Yeah. Because it would have happened at WrestleMania 9, but then, you have the swerve, bro, at the end with the impromptu Hulk Hogan sighting. But yeah. Which, by the way, I have that Mattel figure of him in that WrestleMania 9 outfit.
I have the ultimate of that.
Nice. Yeah, it's a sweet fig. The odds of the
I'll sell it to somebody for $500 because it's no longer made. Let's talk.
Wow.
At Main Event Collector. Instagram.
Good Lord. Yeah, really. Hit him up now. Give him a nice little nest egg.
It is the one with the belt already on, by the way, if that matters to anybody, because they did a running change with the belts. The weight belt's not on them. Some people don't like it because it looks weird. But either way, whatever.
Yeah. Well, hey, they don't make it anymore, so hit him up. The odds of the XFL succeeding got a major boost with the announcement that NBC will become a 50% owner in the league and will broadcast games every Saturday night. WWF and NBC will split the startup costs. Also, NBC purchased 2.3 million shares of WWF stock, meaning that NBC owns about 3% of the total stock. The public owns another 17%, and Vince McMahon himself owns the other 80%. That's a shock because NBC has been discussing a similar deal with Time Warner last year, but NBC backed out because they didn't feel that it was financially possible. NBC sports head Dick Ebersol and Vince McMahon have been friends since the 80s, so that may have played a part in it. The games will air on Saturday. Well, first of all, before I get in the second part of that, yeah, didn't they aired all the XFL games on NBC owned stations, didn't they?
Yeah, I think UPN. I don't know if that was NBC or not, but yeah, it was on there too.
Yeah, I know UPN carried some games, and then I think they were trying to use the XFL and the WWF to actually boost ratings for the UPN because they never really drew any ratings. And you jump ahead all these years later. If anybody doesn't know, there used to be the WB station and the UPN station, and then they merged to make what is now the CW. And I have heard, oddly enough, that station has never made money. They've never turned a profit on that station.
I don't think I put that station on my TV since SmackDown left it. I'm not even joking.
The only thing I watched on there was they got the Flash. That's popular, but I never really got into that one. I liked Supernatural was on there, and I was a big fan of that.
Apparently, he's going to be the new actual Flash in DCU. So maybe.
Yeah. If things keep going the way they are, but yeah. And anyway, as far as the games airing, though, they will air on Saturday nights, which are traditionally the lowest rated night of TV during the week, but NBC is confident that McMahon knows how to attract viewers in the age group that they're looking to target, noting that Raw does 3 times better than Monday Night Football, with viewers in the 12 to 24 age group. Plus, The Rock giving Saturday Night Live its biggest ratings in over a year helped convince them that Vince has the Midas touch. And 2000 yeah, right. Either way, as far as the XFL, we're about to be in the 3rd iteration of this thing coming up.
Yep.
Last I heard, though, The Rock released what was supposed to be the new logo, the 3rd freaking logo for this thing, and Megan Rapinoe and whoever with her company there are sending a cease and desist because the logo of their company looks very similar. So I don't know how that's going to play out. It's always something with the XFL, man. They need to just I don't know why people hold on to those initials. It's like maybe start up a new one because that just seems to be snake bit. Getting back into the wrestling here, but talking about outside of it. Kurt Angle was interviewed recently and praised MMA, calling it one of his favorite sports and saying that he would like to wrestle against guys like Mark Kerr and Mark Coleman. He particularly praised Kerr's amateur wrestling. Angle and Kerr faced each other in the 1995 Olympic trials, and he said that if Kerr had more of a work ethic, Kerr would probably have beaten him.
Wow,
it's kind of a backhanded compliment. Like, he's a really great wrestler. If only he worked harder. Damn, dude.
He's just being honest, probably.
I know Mark Coleman. Was Mark Kerr like a big name in UFC or?
Not to my knowledge. Never heard of him before.
Okay, yeah. So, and did you start getting into the UFC in what 01, 02?
02, I think.
Okay, yeah. So you weren't quite a huge fan of it yet. Here we go. We'll get into it early here.
Oh, good God, that's a great lead in.
Well, I've only got 2 of these stories, but let's get
hang on. I got. Hold on. I got to prepare.
Oh, roll tide. Anyway, all right. This week in ECW.
Oh, good Lord.
At an ECW house show in Norfolk, Virginia, after the show was over, the Sandman brought a few young ladies into the ring, and it got pretty R-rated.
Oh, my God. I can already see where this is going.
For starters, they looked
I'm sorry.
young.
You said the Sandman and young ladies. You can only go worse from here. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry. Go ahead.
For starters, they looked pretty young. Not necessarily underage, but not old enough to be drinking. But he poured beer all over them and then got them to take their shirts off. One of the women wasn't wearing a bra and just paraded around topless in the ring. This could be an issue because there's some sort of Virginia state law about that sort of thing during entertainment events.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
when people wonder why I laugh at this company. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It really was the inmates running the asylum most of the time. Like, these guys just, did whatever the hell they wanted to do. Good, bad, or indifferent, whether it was breaking the law or not. Quit breaking
the
the law,
committing a
asshole.
huge felony, possibly. Oh, lots of stuff. It's great.
Yeah, right.
Love this stuff. EC-Dub.
Sandman and felonies. They go together like lamb and tuna fish.
Lamb and tuna fish. Spaghetti and meatballs. Would you like that better? Considering we're in America, if you don't like that, get the hell out.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't get that reference, go watch Big Daddy.
I like how spaghetti and meatballs was the American thing.
Could have said a hamburger and fries or something, you idiot.
Yeah, right. Good grief. Last ECW story I have here. This next one is,
thank the good Lord,
this is sort of related, but not totally. On a recent ECW show, Tajiri kept referring to Super Crazy by the name Super Chico. That's weird. Oddly enough, Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer actually used to wrestle under the name Super Chico.
Oh, God, what a horrible coincidence.
How dare you, Greg? That's the great Brian Alvarez.
I've never liked Jungle Boy more in my life than when he's beating his ass in the ring at an APW show.
Right? Yeah. The only guy that Jungle Boy's bigger than. This one's sort of ECW related, and you'll see why. The state of New Jersey is fighting to try to regulate so-called extreme wrestling, and this week, Vince McMahon came out in favor of the regulations. The bill introduced would ban anyone under the age of 19 from attending extreme wrestling shows, and allow local officials to ban those types of shows completely if they so choose. But, of course, the wording on the bill is pretty vague as to what constitutes extreme wrestling, so there's a lot of legal concerns over that. The bill is worded in a way that would not affect nationally touring companies like WWF or WCW. Naturally, ECW is hoping to be excluded from that bill as well, although having the word extreme in their name isn't helping their case. The whole issue started due to shows run by indie promotion Jersey All Pro Wrestling, which regularly hosts hardcore bloody death matches. Another New Jersey-based promotion, CZW, is expected to be targeted by this new law as well. I don't know if that.
I don't think anything of note happens here.
Yeah. So, that's so weird. Like, if you think about like a legal document being put forth by like in a state legislature would actually have the words extreme wrestling in it. It's kind of laughable at that point. Like, okay. And look, I have nothing wrong with if you're like, look, we need to ban, garbage, like people mutilating each other.
19, 20-year-old girls getting in the ring and get naked, apparently.
Yeah, right.
Well, it just goes hand in hand with the last story.
Yeah, it's like you can still hold your indie shows. You just can't, have people be throwing each other into broken glass and crap like that.
And what the hell is the point of any of that, anyways? How do you call that wrestling?
You're
mutilating each other. Like, how is that wrestling?
I once had a local indie wrestler that had been wrestling around here for a couple decades tell me one time, because the local indie promotion would bring in deathmatch wrestlers here and there to do like a one-off, and he had said, don't let anybody fool you when they're doing that stuff. They're not doing it because they think it's cool or whatever. They just want an excuse to go get pain pills.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Well, it's plausible.
Yeah. Either way, so much for Pero Aguayo retiring. He's already scheduled for CMLL shows for the rest of the year and maybe returning to Japan to work as well. Yeah, Pero Aguayo is one of them guys that never knew when to hang it up. And I mean, whatever. If you're drawing money,
does he still go?
Well, no, he passed away as far as I recall.
I did not know that.
Pero Aguayo Jr., for anybody out there that don't know, he's the one. He passed away in the ring, actually. And people still wear, like, Taya Valkyrie still wears his T-shirts every now and then. He had neck. I think that was the one that died in the ring with Rey Mysterio.
She knows how to wear a T-shirt, man. Let me tell you.
Wow. Yeah, she's pouring her heart out, man. But, yeah, no, Pero Aguayo Jr., I think, was the one that died in the ring with Rey Mysterio.
Ooh.
So, Pero Aguayo Sr., yeah, he passed away back in 2019. So, but yeah, he wrestled for like freaking ever. He was one of them guys that just kept going, like the Terry Funk effect. And the older he got, the bloodier his matches got because it's like, I can't do as much, so I'll just bleed all over the place. Speaking of bleeding all over the place, an FMW show in Japan was recently canceled because it was too close to the Mount Usu volcano that had just recently erupted.
That sounds so fake.
I know. We got to cancel the show because it's too close to a volcano that erupted recently. Like, what?
Oh, man.
That's not a thing you hear in America or anywhere that often. So, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. It's USU. So I'm assuming it's Usu. I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
Either.
We're American. We know how to speak, so we're good.
Yeah, I talk real good. All right, I say the words with my mouth hole real nice.
What the hell?
It is Hill William. Thank you.
Good Lord. Well, at least it's proper.
Yeah, right. The thing that got me most about the volcano thing got me the most about the story. But the fact that FMW was running shows in 2000, I was like, what?
Yeah, I thought they folded in like early or late 90s.
Yeah, I guess not.
Is that where Mike Austin was started?
Yeah, he started over there as the Gladiator, I believe.
Yeah, he had that horrible face paint.
Yeah, he looked like he tried to get into the LOD and they told him no.
Yeah. Cosplay on LOD. Guys, they could be a part of the team too.
Right, like Heidenreich.
Oh, good Lord.
Hey, if he can do it.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah, right. At the latest Stampede Wrestling show in Canada, Harry Smith, the 14-year-old son of Davey Boy Smith, defeated a heel named TJ Wilson. After the match, Wilson and his stable were beating on Smith when Davey Boy did a run-in to save him. It was then announced that the father and son would be forming a tag team called the New British Bulldogs.
Is that even legal?
Yeah. It's almost like you can wrestle at 14 in Canada? You sure as hell can't here in America.
I'm pretty sure in Canada at 16 you're an adult, so
I didn't.
Still 14 though. It's still not 16. So
yeah, right. That's nuts. I can't imagine getting that. What was that? There was some documentary I was watching. Well, it might have been Dark Side of the Ring. I can't remember. Where Mikey Whipwreck had a wrestling school, and he said he won't even let anybody under the age of 18 step into his ring because for insurance reasons. I don't remember where I saw that now. Yeah, because two guys were getting a tour, and they were like, "Hey, can we get in the ring and just mess around, whatever?" And they got in. He's like, "Wait a minute, how old are you two?" And one of them was like 17. He's like, "Nah, get out. Sorry, like I don't want that on my on my conscience or whatever." For anybody that doesn't,
do you know of a wrestler from Ring of Honor named Starboy? I think his name is.
No.
It's a really small little Mexican guy. He started out in APW, and he was just a ring guy. He was just a ring kid. Had towels and stuff, and he used to grab their gear like when they took off like their entrance gear or whatever. And they called him Ring Boy Charlie, and like he was clearly like a kid. And I don't know how this even went on, but like one night we're at a show, and he's wrestling, and his mom's there in the front row. And I think like clearly she had to be there for some reason, but they did let a 16-year-old, 17, whatever he was, wrestle on the show. So
wow,
it's all coming back to me. Just remember this. I think his name is Starboy in Ring of Honor, but they called him Ring Boy Charlie in EPW.
Wow, yeah, I think that's how. I mean, obviously he was an adult at this point, but I think that's how Cheeseburger in Ring of Honor got his start. I think he was a ring boy.
It's ironic we're talking about all this, and it started with Mikey Whipwreck, who was essentially the same thing. But he might have been an adult, but he essentially had the same exact stuff.
Right.
But Paul Heyman said he didn't want he didn't ask for money, except the ring. He just wanted to get in the ring and wrestle.
That's how I got.
That's straight off the WCW documentary DVD I got that from. But
oh yeah. Just to wrap this up though, if anybody doesn't know, TJ Wilson is a Tyson Kidd or whatever, and I think everybody knows who Harry Smith is. Shawn Michaels' alleged final match took place in his TWA promotion last week against Venom, not Tom Hardy. It was your
big Venom, bro.
Bro. No, this is Eric from That 70s Show. Go for Grace. But it was your basic weapons match: garbage cans, ladders, cookie sheets, etc. Michaels bladed.
Yeah, the typical Shawn Michaels match. Yes.
Yeah, well, they said typical weapons match. So, to your point, no, Shawn does not usually do that crap. luckily. And ironically, his first match back in the WWE was full of a bunch of weapons. So there you go. And he wrestled in jeans. But Michaels bladed and also did an elbow drop from the top of the ladder, which was his only real major bump. Mostly it was just Venom bumping all over for Shawn for the big spots. After winning the match and the TWA Championship, Shawn vacated the title and announced a tournament to determine a new champion. I might have used that line a little too soon, but Shawn Michaels and vacating titles go together like a lamb and tuna fish. Had to get it in one more time. But anyway.
Giggity.
Right. Court TV aired a show called Wrestling with Death, talking about the dangers of wrestling. This was a big thing back then. You don't hear about this so much anymore. I mean, obviously there's the, dark side of the ring, but that's not a expose necessarily on wrestling. But they talked with about the dangers of wrestling. Linda McMahon was interviewed and came off pretty cold and callous. She doesn't ever come off that way, so I'm assuming that they selectively edited. The highlight was Linda saying that the WWF doesn't market to children, and the host responded by pulling out a bag full of WWF toys found at Toys R Us that are clearly marketed to children, and basically made Linda look like a moron.
Well, I'm sitting there looking at my D-tops full of figures right now, and I'm not a child, but
Yeah, right. I think you and I are like the first. I mean, toy collecting was going on in the 90s, but it wasn't so publicized, probably because of no social media. That's like,
because Matt Cardona and Brian Myers didn't exist yet. Well, we weren't a thing yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, now it's like it's not an embarrassing thing so much. That's why it's like it's so laughable when you saw like somebody had said something to Xavier Woods about, well, quit playing your stupid little games, get back in the ring, and he's like, oh yeah, because me building a second career for myself where I don't have to take bumps. That's such a terrible thing.
Third career, really? He's a freaking brilliant. What are you, a physicist or something? What?
Yeah, I know he has a PhD. I don't know
so
what, but
just it's just the point. It's like
he's got plenty of fallbacks.
Yeah, never mind the fact that the game industry is $1 billion industry, by the way, which I don't think kids are contributing to. Maybe their parents are. So again, sorry to be sensible here.
Yeah, and I mean the Twitch gaming thing is a huge thing now, and I mean people use.
I'm playing Twitch as we speak right now. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, so there you go. It makes a lot of people a lot of money, especially if you've got any celebrity name value whatsoever, you can make money on Twitch as a second or third or fourth career.
Which apparently you can do in WWE again. They looked at that, so.
Oh wow. I didn't know that, but that's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean there are plenty of people out there with like subpar content even that make a pretty decent living on Twitch and YouTube and whatever else. So the toy thing, I mean, you and I know people, I mean, I don't think they make a living off of it, but especially you in the communities that you're in, I mean, know people that make a lot of money off of toys. So,
dude, no joke. I've resold some old stuff that I find and age out, made like close to maybe $1,000 over the past couple of years.
Good Lord.
Yeah, just old, just like figures I find like this is gonna be valuable when it's out with prints, and I gamble and it works out. So there you go.
Not a bad gig if you can get it. But furthering on with some bad press and whatnot, Bret Hart was on TSN's Off the Record and said that he doesn't have any animosity towards Davey Boy Smith for going back to the WWF. However, he does have a problem with Smith publicly saying that McMahon shouldn't be held responsible in any way for Owen Hart's death. Considering Smith threatened to sue over his back injury that he suffered in WCW, he thinks it's kind of hypocritical of him to not think that Vince has some responsibility. He also spoke about meeting Vince when he came to Calgary for Owen's funeral. He said that when they talked, they didn't really discuss Owen's death because of the legal issues. But then, a few weeks later, Vince went on TV and claimed that Bret didn't care about Owen because he never talked about him during their conversation. Bret was pretty pissed off about that because he says that Vince knew that Bret couldn't talk to him about Owen because of the pending lawsuit. When the host asked Bret if he would ever go back to the WWF and how you should never say never, Bret responded by saying, quote, absolutely never.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, about that. Fast forward.
I don't think. Well, they say never make a happy promise or an emotional decision.
Yeah, right. Yeah, always forgotten. I mean, I don't know if it was an interview or what specifically Bret was referring to. If Vince really did say that Bret didn't care about Owen, that's kind of a crappy thing to say. But both of these guys just like they kept sniping at each other in the media for like years and years. And then you got everybody in the clique whenever they did a shoot interview, they were like, "Oh, it was a work, bro." Like they don't actually hate each other. It's all a work, bro. I want to live in a world where I think everything is a work.
Yep.
Well, maybe I don't want to live in that world, but you know what I mean. Anyway,
it's an intriguing thought.
Yeah, I know people who think that everything is a freaking work, and it's like, wow, that just takes like the magic out of everything, doesn't it?
Oh, you mean in wrestling? I think, man, life. Because I did hear a story about a guy who thinks the entire Ukraine invasion just a work because the United States urged Putin to do it. He's a crazy conspiracy theorist from Berkeley. Go figure. So I was like, it exists in every form of life. Like, what's wrong with you, man?
Wow. Yeah, of course. Getting into the WCW side of things, though, Billy Kidman won the Cruiserweight title from The Artist at a Baltimore house show and then lost it back to him the next night at a Pittsburgh house show. Neither title change was ever acknowledged on TV.
Sorry.
Yeah, so there you go. By the way, I always thought Mark Madden was like beloved in Pittsburgh. Apparently not, because there was a poll that came out around this time that voted.
Bro.
Good Lord. But there was a poll that came out around this time saying that Mark Madden was like ranked number 3 on the top 5 reasons to kill your radio.
Wow. Is Howard Stern above Love Sponge 1 and 2?
I didn't see the other ones. I just saw that he was. I'm like,
I'm going to go ahead and be calm for myself and make a safe bet that those are the first 2.
Yeah, right. There are people in WCW who are worried about an incident that took place last week during Spring Break Nitro and are hoping that it doesn't get out publicly.
Oh, good Lord. What is this?
God.
I thought you said hope it doesn't get out publicly, so I guess it's not Hall, Nash, and the pool incident. Okay.
No.
So, hit me with it.
Was that 98?
That was 99, I believe. 98,
okay.
99. Probably one of those, yeah.
I think Raven was on that show referring to, but yeah, so it had been some time when he was in the company. But this, yeah, let's just get into it. Some WCW people apparently unofficially sponsored and organized a wet t-shirt contest with about 15 women participating. By the end of it, every single one of them was totally naked. There were a good 500 plus people gathered around watching, many with cameras, and at least one wrestler was on stage helping to remove clothing from the women. Needless to say, right? Needless to say, WCW is hoping that none of this footage surfaces. It doesn't appear that it ever does, but I believe that we later find out that Buff Bagwell was that wrestler.
Show of hands, who's shocked at that one?
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's my shocked face? Like gas. Like really? Like no kidding. Buff. Okay.
Don't forget, water's wet.
Yeah, right. And the positive stories just keep coming for WCW, man. Here's another one. In the UK, there was a lot of media coverage and even a segment on a BBC News show in regards to WCW engaging in alleged false advertisement. Their recent tour heavily advertised Goldberg and Sting, but of course, neither was there. Instead, fans got to see the Harris Twins versus the Mama Lukes as the main event. As you can imagine.
Hell!
Right? Goldberg, Sting. No, they're not here. You get Harris Twins versus Mama Lukes. Oh, well, same, whatever.
Oh my God!
The old business adage was it under promise and over deliver, I think is how it goes. And This is the exact reverse of that. Over promise and under deliver by a mile. Just wow. As you can imagine, fans weren't thrilled, and there's a lot of stories about fans wanting refunds and filing complaints with the venues. Yeah. This isn't a case of like, well, Goldberg and Sting can't make it, so here's, 2 other big name star. No. Get the Harris Twins and the Mama Lukes. Like, what? Man, I don't even know what to say, man.
Yeah, dude. I
probably want a refund too.
There's like a plethora of people they could have had. A plethora. Yep. And they picked those four.
A plethora, if you will.
And also, Johnny the Bull's on that team, and he was Relic. You know what that is?
Oh well, of course it's Killer spelled backwards, Greg.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Make sure everyone knows that.
Yeah, right. God. Scott Hall reportedly had neck surgery last week due to injuries allegedly suffered at Super Brawl, although that's not certain. Oh, you were at that Super Brawl 2000?
Was I there? Was that three of them? No, I think it was 97, 99. Never mind.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know where the hell Super Brawl 2000 even was. Yeah, it was at the Cow Palace. Okay.
I don't think I was at that one, though. Can't remember.
Okay.
Wait, was that the one where Tank Abbott tried to kill Big Al?
Oh God. The main event was Sid Vicious versus Scott Hall
there.
and Jeff Jarrett.
I'm blanking
three-way
now.
dance. Yeah, Tank Abbott and Big Al. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was there.
Okay. How lucky you. You saw this card and was like, I'm going. They got my money. Asses and seats.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's weird though, and I didn't check ahead to see what the hell happened, but they said nobody could confirm whether or not he actually needed neck surgery. So that was just what was being reported by close friends of Scott Hall's. I don't know. Shane Helms needs reconstructive nose surgery from an injury that he suffered, but he's trying not to miss any TV time, so he's working through it while wearing a protective face mask. How stupid to put Shane Helms in a mask. Perish the thought. Speaking of perishing the thought, there's interest in bringing Mark Marrow and Rena Marrow into WCW. Mark is legally free and could show up in WCW right now if he wanted. However, Rena is still locked into her WWF non-compete clause for another 18 months. Well, you mean they didn't lock down Mark Marrow? Like, you're not getting out of here, man.
Wow. She would appear on Nitro, by the way, in the crowd.
Yeah, but I don't think they could legally mention her, right? They just showed her. I think that was the deal.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Bischoff made some Playboy magazine innuendo or something.
Yeah, because he was like, he wanted to show her because she was there, but like the workaround was they weren't actually able to mention her. It's like, oh, she just happened to be in the crowd, and we happened to show her sitting there. Yeah, they probably got a nice little letter from Jerry McDivitt about that one. Speaking of Eric Bischoff, though, Eric Bischoff did an interview with the Wrestling Observer website.
Why?
Hell if I know. But he talked about how WCW that WWF went to because they can't do anything to embarrass Ted Turner. He said that he and Vince Russo plan to basically blow up WCW and start from scratch. They're going to change directions in a way that no one expects. Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, if you want to, that's like going down like you've seen Shawshank Redemption, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know how you crawl. Yeah. Say what?
It's a classic. Hell yes.
Yeah. Well, you know how he escapes from prison by crawling through like the sewer pipe and everything?
Yeah.
That's like, okay, you're going through that sewer pipe and you see freedom down one pipe and you're like, nah, I'm going to crawl through this one because it has like higher amounts of crap. So it's like, that's how they change directions. But final story I have here, speaking of Vince Russo, he did an interview on WCW Live on their website. It was full of noteworthy comments. I've just got a few here. He said that he left in January right before the sold-out pay-per-view when Bill Bush told him that the company wanted to focus less on ratings and entertainment and more on wrestling. Russo disagreed and refused to be a part of the booking committee. Russo admitted that he pitched the idea of Tank Abbott winning the WCW title at Sold Out, but Bush shot that down. Oh, I wonder why, especially after what we see on this show. Russo said that,
well, what we see on this show is one of the greatest things we ever see, actually. I don't know if you're being serious, but,
The only time I'll get into it, but Russo said that he wants to bring back Conan and Shane Douglas because he said that he thinks that they both have a lot to offer and feels that Douglas especially could be a big star with WCW. Yeah, because that happened. He also feels that they were right to stand up for Bush, stand up to Bush rather, which ultimately got them suspended when they didn't follow the Radicals to the WWF. Russo also.
As part of that story, I think they tried, according to Pritchard, and everything fell apart. So
Yeah,
them sound like little worker bees that were all there for him. They tried to jump off.
Yeah, Conan. I think the thing was he tried to, like, he couldn't get a call back or something like that, and I don't know
Because
why
he used the word K-Dog and not Conan, and Bruce Pritchard had no idea who the hell K-Dog was.
Yeah, Pritchard says that.
That's a real story.
Pritchard says that, and then on the flip side, Conan says, "You think I would call you up at your like asking for a job and like an effing mark? I announce myself as K-Dog. Who the f do you think I am?" So
I don't think Pritchard knew what the hell K-Dog was back then, so that's why I believe him. Like, why would he call him that if he had never heard of that name before?
Yeah, because I'm thinking it's like, because he was like, well, if he would have said Conan or Carlos, whatever his last name is, he was like, I know who that is.
Oh,
like,
Carlos, yeah.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so that's him. I don't know why he didn't go with the rest of the Radicals. I don't know if he was having second thoughts or whatever. But Shane Douglas, I heard they just ditched his ass. Like, they told him the wrong time, and they just never came and picked him up. And I'm like, damn.
He had 2 stints there before, so maybe they just didn't like him. Don't forget that. He's been there twice.
I was going to say, I think they were probably thinking, like, he might hold us back. I don't know. It's kind of dirty, but I can see their point if that's what they were thinking. Russo also claims
I might take him over Perry Saturn, but not the other 3. So,
yeah,
that's just me.
Well, I think Pritchard said that he thought he looked at Perry Saturn as one of the top guys that they wanted to do something with.
Yeah, how'd that go over Moppy?
Yeah, right. I mean, hey, Perry Saturn was a great wrestler. I thought, well, I don't know if I should say great. He was a good wrestler.
But in the collection of these 4, he was dead last.
Oh, well, yeah,
to be fair.
Of course. Yeah. I can see why they wouldn't see anything in Dean Malenko just because he was small. He was so small, and he had no personality. So, Chris Benoit.
Malenko, as Jericho calls him.
Wow. But yeah, I mean, Benoit and Guerrero were clearly, I think, the top 2. I think JR said he saw, maybe it was JR who said he saw something in Saturn, and I think Pritchard said he looked at Eddie as the breakout. So I don't know, because he said Eddie reminded him of like the Mexican Shawn Michaels.
I can see that.
and now people are trying to compare Sammy Guevara to Eddie Guerrero, which is like, he's
settle
good.
The hell down.
Yeah, he's very young, so he's got a long way to go. But,
Logan Paul did a better Eddie Guerrero than Sammy Guevara, but whatever.
Wow. But last statement here was Russo claims that he boosted WCW's ratings from 2.5 to 3.5 in 12 weeks. Uncle Dave says that claim is total BS. For once,
it's right there in the numbers. Are they? Was it BS? I don't know.
He said because he was trying to, like, he said technically it's true, but technically it's not, because he's something about
the demo. Please tell me the demo.
No, it wasn't the demo. Something about lack of, like, when he was running things, there was something about lack of competition those nights. I can't even remember he broke it all down and whatever, but he's basically,
sure he did.
But basically he was saying it was a disingenuous claim. That it's like, yeah, I mean, numbers kind of went up, but
well, I'm a Raider fan, so just win, baby. So I can't argue with Russo on this. If he got it, he got it. Argue all you want. If you win, you win.
He did the same thing with, because Nash was like, well, I got the ratings up when I was booking, and Dave was saying something about, he's like, you're kind of looking at the wrong time period. He's like, you got to, because you're not going to see immediate results. Like if something big happens one week, like the numbers aren't going to just jump up that week. They might tune in the next week because they heard something big happen last week. But I don't know. I'm not I'm not a ratings expert. I just play one on the podcast, but. Well, that does it for the news and notes. I told you there was quite a bit to get into, some involved stories and whatnot, but we're going to take our break. When we come back, it is time to dive into the show at hand, and boy, howdy, was this a show. We'll cover it all. Right
today, we're liberal with the word show on our show. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's show and tell. We'll get into it right after this. Follow the Main Event Marks at Facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Thomas, and what's your name?
I'm Alan.
Alan.
Oh, yeah. We're brothers.
That's right.
Yeah. Same mother and father.
Your room was...
Oh, we shared the room.
Shared a room.
We shared the room.
Thought I knew your face.
Yeah, we go way back, mate. Yeah.
We should do a podcast then.
We have.
We do a podcast.
We do a podcast.
What's it called?
The
Broadcast.
Yeah, that was planned.
Yeah. Well.
What do we do?
Well, we cover all different things in the world of pop culture. We're talking about comic books, we're talking about professional wrestling, and we're talking about movies. Go back and watch classic retro wrestling events, the likes of WWE, WCW, and if you do like that, you can check us out on Apple iTunes, also on Podbean, Anchor, and on Podknife. Also check us out on Twitter at The Broadcast. That's BROKAST. Nearly stuffed up the ending.
No, it's all right. Good on you.
Yeah. Instagram also at The Broadcast Podcast.
Remember, we don't spell it with a C. We spell it with a K.
Sorry, mate.
Take it easy.
Main event marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/main event marks. And we're back. It's WCW Monday Nitro from April 10th, 2000. The venue is the
It's that one. Sorry.
Yeah. The venue is the Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado. Out of curiosity, I did not look beforehand what the capacity was on this. Capacity.
I would imagine this one probably had a good crowd because it was the first one.
Yeah. It's not... It's called the Ball Arena now. Yeah, it's formerly the Pepsi Center. Capacity 18,000. My God. So I say that because the capacity is 18,000. They drew an attendance of 9,074.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah, right. The TV rating for this one was a 3.1, which in today's times, that's a good rating. In 2000, kind of sucked. Especially when the Monday Night Wars are long dead by this point, but with wrestling being a hot property at this time, that's really bad. But we start off in the ring full of wrestlers and valets, and more are on their way out. Commentary says that Vince Russo has called this meeting. You can tell this is the year 2000, by the way, when you see a bunch of FUBU clothes out in the crowd. I don't even know if that brand still exists. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I feel like Nash wore it all the time.
He did, yeah. That was big. That was a popular brand back in the day, and I don't know exactly what year it died out, but I don't even know if they still make clothes. But Jeff Jarrett comes.
I feel like I saw one the other day. And I pointed out to a friend of ours.
Really?
I could be wrong on that. I feel like I did.
That's funny. Jeff Jarrett comes out and grabs a mic and says that when he came to WCW, he was handpicked to be the WCW World Champion. Jarrett says that he and Russo's plans got derailed, however, when a group of good old boys conspired against them. Now he says that they're all sitting at home. Jarrett then introduces...
Do you know what he meant by that?
Specifically like Bill Bush and Kevin Sullivan and those kind of people.
I was blanking.
Yeah, because Bill Bush took over. That was like what we talked about in that last news story there. He kind of was trying to take power away from Russo because he kind of had buyer's remorse. And then Kevin Sullivan was taken back over there for a little while. And that was actually a big reason why Benoit wanted out, was because of Kevin Sullivan having more power. So, but Jarrett then introduces Vince Russo, who comes to the ring as commentary mentions that Russo once said that he would never appear on camera.
Yeah.
I wish he would have kept that promise, man.
He'd already broken it years prior on Livewire. So,
yeah, right. Russo grabs a microphone in the ring and talked about wanting to beat Vince McMahon. The guy with the Bischoff plus Russo equals rating sign in the crowd obviously is not a fortune teller.
or wishful thinking.
Right.
I don't know why.
Russo buries WCW management and says that everyone who's currently in the Radicals knew that the change in direction was bad, so they all quit. After a while, we then hear Eric Bischoff say, "Are you done yet?" before his music hits, and he comes out to the ring in a black suit. Russo seems annoyed
with
at
that
first.
hair, by the way.
Yeah, Silver Fox, man. You remember when it was after Hogan came into TNA, and the band showed back up, and first time Scott Hall saw Kevin Nash with the gray hair, he's like, "So we're not dyeing our hair anymore, huh?"
How do you get the memo?
Yeah, Nash was like, "We all got to grow up sometime, man." Russo seemed annoyed at first, right before they shake hands and hug, because brothers gotta hug.
You can actually see the disdain in Bischoff's face.
Yeah, he's like, "Ugh, New York." But Eric Bischoff starts off by saying that both he and Russo were both screwed over by the same good old boys network. Bischoff says that Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Sting, Diamond Dallas Page, and Sid wished he was vicious, all made mistakes, or were all big mistakes of his. He then says that Hulk Hogan was a big mistake of his as well, and he was blinded, quote, by that red and yellow light, but not anymore. Bischoff and Russo then say that the guys they just insulted are hiding in the back, which, of course, causes them to all come out onto the stage one by one.
That's weird. It was almost like it was on cue.
I know, like they were waiting on them to be called out or something. That doesn't happen though. This is all real, Craig. Screw it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it after live.
This gets Bischoff to insult them all even more, saying that he's surprised that they actually showed up for work. Russo says that he knows that Ric Flair's hiding backstage, and he's a piece of shit on the bottom of his shoe, and he's going to scrape off and flush. Okay, a couple things.
First of all, I'm just going to say right now, I hate stepping in dog crap on the street, but if I do not take it home to flush it.
I know. I was like, first of all, where are you in your stepping in crap? Going to a Giants game?
He's a New Yorker. You've been there.
Yeah, that's true. Second of all, yeah, like you said, like you have it on the bottom of your shoe long enough to scrape it off and flush it? What? That's just gross, bro. And that would mean you have to track it through your house. So, I don't know. There's just a lot of weird stuff about this one. Plus the fact, I got to ask, why does he hate Ric Flair? What the hell did Flair ever do to him?
They did not even ever establish this.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah, he just hates Ric Flair. Why? Don't know. Quit asking questions. F you. That's why. But Russo then tells Jarrett that they're starting with a level playing field, so all titles will need to be stripped tonight. The crowd chants bullshit. My thoughts exactly.
At this segment, or what's going to happen to poor WCW?
Yes. Eric Bischoff then says that there's only one belt left, and Sid needs to give it up. Sid tells Bischoff to come and take it, to which Bischoff smiles and says,
"Oh, yes. Okay."
Oh,
yeah, here it comes.
Eric Bischoff walks up to Sid on the stage now to get our first representation of Greg standing next to me of the night. And says that if Sid lays him out, he'll be unemployed, so he needs to just give up the world title. Eric says, "What's the matter, Sid? Can't find your scissors?" To which only Mark Madden on commentary reacts.
He freaking said that.
Yep. You notice the crowd's like dead, by the way. Like, only Mark Madden goes, "Wow!" I'm like, that's it. And so Eric repeats the line, and still no one cared. Like, dude,
maybe I gotta say it again because they didn't get over.
Yeah, it's nope. Like, we're trying to appeal to the smarks. Like, nobody cares, man. Nobody gets it. All right.
I feel like watching this when I was a kid. I didn't realize what it meant either.
But yeah, who would? It happened back in what, 92? Or no, even earlier than that. Like, good grief. Or no, it might. Oh, I'm sorry, later than that. That's right, because that's why he came back to WWF in 94, 95, whenever that was.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. So it was later than 92. But either way, it had been over half a decade since that crap happened. Freaking nobody remembers. It's just whatever. The internet was.
Russo says something like that, you don't even think twice. Bischoff, really?
Which leads me to believe he was fed this line. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But this is
I want to agree with you, but I don't think Bischoff's just going to say that if he doesn't want to. I don't know.
In his own words, he said he was trying to get along to play ball and all that, so he wasn't making any waves. So maybe he was being fed stuff and was like, "Yeah, all right, yeah, sure, I'll say it." I don't know. I could be wrong.
Paycheck's a paycheck, right?
You're right. It all cashes the same, man. Yeah, this is one of the first smarky moments of the night, just letting everybody out there know. Besides the mention of the Good Old Boys Network that, appealed to like a small fraction of the audience. Again, the internet's not as big as it is now, so there's not
It's essentially only about 3 years old, give or take, like the infamousy of it.
Yeah, people are still using the majority of people with internet still have dial-up. So.
Yeah, I mean, hey, don't be on the internet too late because I'm waiting for a phone call.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to those of you who get that.
My time on the internet was limited because we had one phone line, and they didn't want me tying up the phone. They were like, "You get 1 hour, and that's it." But either way, Sid thinks about it for a while and then gives up the world title. Bischoff says that at Spring Stampede, that's where the real world champion will be crowned.
Woo! Sorry.
Wow. We then go to commercial break, and when we come back, Sting sits down next to Hulk Hogan in the locker room and tells him that Bischoff has lost his mind. He's screwing them all. Hogan says, "I'm on it." And he gets up, and Sting says, "I'm not ribbing you," for yet another marquee moment of the night.
I was able to pass that one over because that's actual word you can use on a friend too. So that one I'll give you. Whatever.
It is, but it's just like, I don't know. That's like hearing Sting
Trust me,
tell
just give it to him. There's like 50 more coming.
Yeah, right. Hearing Sting tell Hulk Hogan, "I'm not ribbing you." Like, really? Okay. But anyway, up next is our actual first, you want to call it, match of the night. There were two bells, one at the beginning, one at the end. So, constitutes match. It's Diamond Dallas. Am I wrong?
Okay, sorry. I'm going off the Webster's dictionary here, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, Diamond Dallas Page with Kimberly Page is taking on the total package, Lex Luger with Elizabeth in his corner. He's like the Chiron when he comes out says the total package, but commentary calls him Lex Luger. So
I think this is the transition back to Luger actually right here.
Okay. Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know at this time or around this time, Lex Luger just went by only the total package.
Yeah, you people think that Vince McMahon's the first one to do stupid stuff like this. Ha ha.
Yeah, right.
All right, news for you.
Yeah, and, hey, people have been doing dumb stuff for a long time. All right, just buckle in. But
how all the way live were Liz and Kimberly, by the way?
Oh, hell yeah! I think Kimberly was just posed for I don't know if it was Playboy or Penthouse or Hustler, one of them, for not too long before this. But this is in the WCW World Heavyweight Title Tournament. It went 4 minutes 23 seconds. I did not misspeak. Both DDP and Lex Luger's music gets cut off halfway through their entrances. Close to the end, Buff Bagwell's theme hits, and Buff comes out with music, pyro blowing, the whole 9 yards. This distracts everyone long enough for DDP to hit a low blow on Lex. Buff kisses Elizabeth on the outside of the ring and distracts Luger again, leading to a diamond cutter for a DDP victory. Yes, all this happened in less than 4.5 minutes.
My whole thing too was which one was the heel in this? Because I thought it was Luger, but then Page wins with a low blow, and I'm like,
bro, nobody cares, bro.
I didn't think that I would have to go back and watch a few Nitros before this to establish who was who, but I'm pretty sure in my mind I remember Luger being a heel. Now Page also could have been one, but then why do we have two heels?
He certainly played the heel through this. This happens one other time later in the night that I'll get to, but yeah, this was wow. But I don't know. Moving on, we're not going to rate these matches because there's really nothing to rate. So yeah. Backstage, Hulk Hogan walks down the hall, knocking on doors, looking for Eric Bischoff. This goes on in one way, shape, or form all effing night, by the way.
No one knows where anyone is. That's the theme of this show.
Basically, yep. So, either way, after commercial break, Kurt Hennig stops Vince Russo backstage to say that he deserves a world title shot more than Jeff Jarrett. Russo says that he'll book them against each other tonight in the World Title Tournament. So, yeah, that's coming up. And
it's important to note that Hennig was his right-hand man for a while, like the powers that be, I should say. So, but there is an established thing there, so I'm not defending the idiot at all, but there is a tiny glimmer of continuity in this.
Yeah. And you want to talk about, there are some things on this show that it's like, man, you want to talk about crash freaking TV, man. It's like, yeah, let's just book everything in one night. Just like run through like months and months worth of storytelling in one effing night. Not that when I say storytelling, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying, you could have dragged it out. But nope, all in one night. 2-hour show. There you go. Good Lord. Anyway.
I haven't said it in a while, but bro, storytelling. Okay, cool. Got one in.
Now, Tank Abbott comes to the ring and grabs the microphone. God help us all.
Oh, hold on. Before you even go on, I'm just going to say it right now. Best part of the whole show right here.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm not even joking. I'm serious.
I'll get my thoughts at the end.
I got giddy watching this, okay?
Wow. I'll get to my thoughts at the end here. But he looks like he's wearing boxers, by the way.
Yep.
They don't even look like fight trunks. They just look like he's wearing boxer shorts that he pulled out of his dresser drawers at home. But he grabs the mic and he says, "I'm not some candy-ass wrestler. I'm a shoot fighter. I don't know the difference between a wrist watch and a wrist lock, but I can kick your ass." And he says it just in that tone, too. He's like practically rolling his eyes during this promo, acting like
we all
someone. Yeah, he seemed like he was reading off of a script. It was so forced and stupid. Tank Abbott's a turd. But he then calls out
He's never a good fighter either, by the way. He fought cupcakes. Never fought real fighters. He never fought guys like Randy Couture or Boss Roode and like that. Would have beat the hell out of him.
And didn't he try calling out women in the last few years?
Maybe. I know he called out GSP, and oh man, maybe we might have to edit this. I don't know, but he literally called him "gay boy GSP."
Oh,
and wanted to fight
right.
Him. And you do realize that man probably would have kicked your ass in 6 ways of Sunday, even in your prime, you idiot.
Dude, he would kick his ass now. Like,
I know.
He's lucky. He's lucky that GSP's a nice, polite Canadian. However, like GSP, I was not impressed with his performance right here. Tank calls out Bill Goldberg, saying that he ran away as soon as Abbott showed up. He said that until Goldberg shows up to fight, he's going to beat up innocent bystanders. He talks like a complete weirdo.
Here we go.
I put in my notes, by the way, he talks like a complete weirdo and a douchebag. Because he is, but commentary is.
He's kind of like bobbing his head nonchalant, like he's cracking jokes in high school gym or something. That's how it came off to me.
Yeah, I know. Like he didn't want to be there. But he talks, commentary gets in on smarky language, calling a fan in the front row a mark. So yeah, had to shove that one in there. Abbott walks up to commentary and starts beating the hell out of Mark Madden. He just smack the hell out of him and rips his shirt off, which we were all waiting on. And he rolls him into the ring. Abbott even mounts Madden and fires off a few shots on him before security runs in and shoves Tank off.
I'm smiling from ear to ear the whole time this is going on.
This is literally the only time. I can't say I totally disagree. However, this is probably one of the only times I felt somewhat sorry for Mark Madden. Holy crap. And I think I don't think he knew this was coming. I think this was just thrust upon him. Because
one of Eric Bischoff's podcasts, he said that Mark Madden was mad the most that they ripped his shirt off on live TV.
Yeah, and I think it was it? Oh wait, no, never mind. That comes way later because I was thinking about the. Remember when he had Russo randomly had commentary do or talk without their shirts on because they made fun of when.
It was just Scott Hudson. It's because he made fun of him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think Shivani had said he was told to as well, and he flat out said, "No, I'm not doing it." He's like, "What are you gonna do? Fire me?" So
what? Hudson was scared.
Hudson needed the job, whereas Tony Schiavone, he was like, whatever. He was done at that point. He had mentally checked out. That's why he said he had a lot of respect for Scott Hudson because he hung in there till the bitter end and actually cared about his job. Tony said he just couldn't give a crap anymore. He couldn't bring himself to.
A side note, Hudson's very underrated, by the way. I always thought he was a great announcer.
Oh yeah, I always thought he was really good. TNA picked him up there for a while, but they put him doing backstage interviews. I'm like,
yeah, but he was good at that too. And he really his facial expressions really told a story too. I loved it.
Yeah,
he wasn't just sitting there holding a mic. He was really into the interview. I thought he was great at that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like Mike Tenay and all, but I really think that they should have put maybe a 3-man booth. Put Hudson out there with Tenay and crap, I'm blanking now. Don
West.
Not Callis. Don West. God, wrong Don.
It's Don Fallis.
Oh yeah, my bad. But backstage, Jeff Jarrett argues.
Don Fallis. Sorry.
Backstage, Jeff Jarrett argues with Vince Russo about having to wrestle tonight. Russo says that Jarrett needs to trust him, saying, "What do I look like to you, J.J. Dillon?" Before walking off.
No, J.J. Dillon was talented, had some character, but so no, don't.
Wow. I mean, you're not wrong. But, yeah. Anyway, Tori Wilson now chases after Billy Kidman backstage, asking if he... Damn straight. Unfortunately, this is the only time we'll see her tonight, but yeah. Asking if he really wants to do this. Billy says something's going on that he's got to take care of. I don't know. But we now go back.
Get into this. I wanted to. Is that coming up next? Okay.
Here in a few.
The week prior, Billy Kidman was, or a couple weeks prior, he was a face. So, I just want to point that out. So, more on that. But
well, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on who you ask if he's a baby face here or not. Because some people were like,
I guess that's true.
Yeah, it's like, you tell Hogan. I guess that was a thing. But anyway, we'll get to that here in a second. But we now go back to Hulk Hogan in his search for Eric Bischoff. We get a Red Rooster sighting as Terry Taylor tells Hulk Hogan where Bischoff is. That was fun.
So you're telling me he stooged?
Oh, yeah. You're right.
What is that saying?
Say what? Oh,
no, I'm not right.
Oh, yeah, that is correct. You set it up.
I haven't had it in a while, dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You. Hey, man, you had to throw that change up right over. The slow change up right over home plate there, so I can knock it out of the park. But Hogan finally walks up to a locker room, knocks on the door, and Bischoff actually comes out. Eric denies that he's trying to screw the Hulkster over, and then guides him into his office. This will totally go well. Next up, Billy Kidman comes to the ring in street clothes with a microphone. Gotta love that WCW is hemorrhaging money, yet they blow money on pyro for Kidman just to walk to the ring and talk.
Wow, I didn't even think of
that. There's something else later that they blow a ton of money on, too. That
one I know. Yes.
Yeah. Kidman says that he's been held back for years, but tonight is his night. And he calls out the biggest egomaniac of them all, Hulk Hogan. Kidman unconvincingly talks trash for a while before calling Hogan out. Backstage, we see Hogan walking down the hallway, and he sees Kidman on a monitor. Then he storms out to the ring.
Okay,
Hogan,
before we go on, hold on. Two things. Number one, man, I love Kidman, but he sucks on the mic. And number two, did you catch when Hogan saw him on there? He hadn't said Hogan's name at all. So what was Hogan reacting to on the damn monitor? He saw Kidman in the ring. He had no idea whatsoever that Kidman was talking about him. Where the hell did that come from?
He was talking trash. I don't know if he actually heard him say his name, because he was talking trash about something, calling him out. I think Hogan
but
just
he didn't
assumed.
say Hogan's name. He could have been talking about anybody on God's green earth, and Hogan just knows it's him.
I think he probably just assumed it's like, we got something going on. Now he's talking crap about me. So, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah.
Well, they didn't have anything going on. That's my point. Kidman was just Kidman before this. Like, this is like his launch into what they want to call his rise or whatever, which has failed because he's back in the Filthy Animals in a couple of months. So, again, he doesn't say Hogan's name like at all at the point where Hogan's listening, I should say. And he's just like, I'm going out there to get him because Kidman's in the ring and I see him, so he must be talking about me. There's no logic there.
Going out to the ring because the script told me to, brother. Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah.
I wish you were.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, remember that time when Goldberg refused to follow the script? You don't want to end up like that, man.
That's coming up, actually.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, now in the archives, New Blood Rising. Anyway.
Or don't. I wouldn't blame you. I mean, Alyssa would be nice, but
we had fun.
I don't want to make you subject yourself to pain.
I do. I'm a sadist. But anyway, so Hogan gets in the ring with Kidman now, and we get our second representation of the night of Troy and Greg standing next to each other. So Hogan said that he's tired of hearing Kidman run his mouth, and he gives all the young guys a bad name. Hogan says that Kidman isn't in his league, and I'm not cleaning this up, by the way. He says he's pee-whipped by that girl that he's with, referencing Tori Wilson. And then Kidman attacks Hogan, and they brawl. Hogan eventually gets the upper hand and destroys Kidman. Eventually, Eric Bischoff comes out with a steel chair, winds it up for an eternity, and finally blasts Hulk Hogan in the face.
Yeah. Also, at the time watching this, I remember back, I'm like, this is the most blatantly obvious quote turn you ever seen. It's coming.
Yeah.
You did not see Bischoff. Right? You did not see Bischoff turning on him right then and there. You are blind as a bat.
Yeah, if you didn't see this whole thing coming, please raise your hand, and Tommy will come back there and hit you in the head with a hammer because you are a moron.
That's two.
Yep, got another one.
And before you go on, there's no shame in being pee-whipped by Tori Wilson, by the way. I actually paid for that. But anyways.
Yeah, right. Yeah, hey, it's like that meme where it's like, I'll never simp for anybody. And then you see Tori Wilson, you're like, yes, my queen. But Kidman ends up pinning Hogan at the direction of Bischoff, who counts to 3. Hogan's bleeding between the eyes. This was not an official match, by the way. If anybody, I mean, it doesn't effing matter. Like, whose line is it anyway, where the points don't matter and, nothing counts.
That doesn't just apply to this show, by the way. It applies to this whole run from here on to About Fall Brawl.
Yeah, pretty much. We now switch to video of Ric Flair pulling into the arena and telling the camera that he's there to style and profile. Woo!
And go figure, Flair doesn't know what's happened yet.
Yeah.
But yet Hogan knows when he sees Kidman on TV that he's talking about him. I know, I keep going back to that. It's just so stupid. But there's some logic.
Script,
but okay.
The script didn't tell him, Greg. God, wait, what don't you get about that?
I don't know. I'm a dumbass that likes to use logic. I'm sorry.
Exactly. If you think about this for 2 seconds, it doesn't make sense.
Okay? What? Say it again.
If you think about this for 2 seconds, it's not going to make sense. So just let it go.
Yes, you're right. Again, I reiterate, God gave me a brain, so it's his fault. Okay. Anyways.
Wow. Yeah. Well, after the commercial break, Hulk Hogan is backstage, tearing stuff apart and throwing things around. He's also bleeding all over and sweating like a storm.
Pig, by the way.
I know. Like he just got stabbed
first.
By the way, he's only shouting 2 things. He's shouting GD and son of a bitch. GD, son of a bitch. Like over and over. Like a broken.
Well, maybe he scrambled his brains. There's only a couple of words he can think of.
Yeah, right. Like, good Lord. And he's just like tearing things apart. Like, man, this made, like, I'm going to say, I think he had like an overreaction to the situation. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like, bro, chill out, man.
Like, if that was his reaction to everything Russo is about to do to WCW, I'd totally buy it, but not Kidman.
Yeah, it's like he acts like he's just got screwed out of the world title in the main event of WrestleMania or something, or in this case, Starrcade, I guess. But like, really, like Bischoff lying to you, like pissed you off so bad. I mean, I don't know. Dumb. But regardless, we now see Ric Flair standing at the go position, watching a replay of the opening promo from Bischoff and Russo. So at least this makes sense.
We got some logic, folks.
Yeah, he's actually getting caught up on things. I know. His music then hits, and he comes to the ring. At this point, we're an hour into the show, and we've had a total of less than 5 minutes of wrestling. On a wrestling program, allegedly. So keep that in mind.
We made this quote-unquote joke a million times in this pod in the past. When Russo's like, nobody cares about wrestling, bro. We're not joking. He's really said this. There are sound bites of him saying this. Go look it up.
If anybody was paying attention to that final story I had where, it was about the Russo interview where he was complaining because Bill Bush said he wanted less, he cared less about the entertainment crap and he wanted more wrestling on the show. And Russo's like, no, I disagree. Like,
nobody cares about wrestling, bro.
That was one of the hills he was willing to die on. Like, no wrestling on this wrestling program, bro. What are you, crazy? He wants to see that garbage, bro. Tune in to see my script writing.
Don't forget about the women, in the bra and panties and stuff.
Bro, get them naked, bro.
I know the old saying goes, sex sells. I get it. It's a marketing thing from back in the day. But, man, he took that to heart, dude.
Yeah, and in his Arrested Development mind there. God. But Flair says that he needs at least 10 minutes to say what he thinks of Eric Bischoff. At the beginning of his promo, by the way, Ric Flair is one of the best, one of the greatest orators in wrestling history. Not here. Not saying this was his worst, but he starts off, he's like, Bischoff, and he starts rambling about something. He's like, give me 10 seconds to say, no, I need 10 minutes to talk about you. I'm like, what?
Look, you can have the most amazing bowl of soup in the world. If you drop a piece of crap in there, the whole thing is ruined. And that's what Russo is. There you go.
Wow. Yeah. It's somebody talked before, but made the comparison. They're like, you have a bowl of chili. As soon as you put a jalapeno in the center of it, the whole thing's spicy. All right. Yeah, it's true. But
being
anyway,
part Mexican, I'm never going to complain about spicy chili, though, so I'm going to go with mine.
Yeah, right. But he said Russo came from the WWF to, quote, save them, but he sucks. I'm only slightly paraphrasing here, by the way. Flair then goes off on the New Blood and says that he and the guys that Bischoff and Russo put down all got by on their talent, whereas he says that he hates Bischoff, but at least he had the guts to walk up to Sid Vicious. Now he wants Russo to come to the ring and face him like a man to, quote, scrape me off the bottom of your shoe. So we're keeping that going. But we don't get Russo. We get Scott Steiner coming out on the stage now, and he tells Flair that he's boring him to death. I can hardly understand anything that Steiner's freaking saying here, by the way. So
yep.
I don't, and it's not because of the quality of the audio. Some of it is. I'm like, dude, can you speak like you don't have your mouth full of chew or something? But he does say that Flair only became a 14-time world champion because he had all of his friends pulling the strings. He has an infatuation with calling people white trash, by the way.
Yeah, and I got a comment the other day. Someone messaged me like, "What?" It's like, whenever you guys talk about DDP, why do you call him DDP or Diamond Dallas white trash? Because Scott Steiner literally called him that weekly on Nitro.
Yeah.
So there you go. I hope people now know. I'm not saying it. It's a joke. But
hey, kudos to that whoever that person was on not watching this crap back in the day and being subjected to that. But
that's true. Yes, I think about that. I'm kind of jealous of you.
Yeah, right. But when I think of white trash, I frequently think of the jet flying, limousine riding guy.
Yeah, right. The guy that wears $1 million suits and $100,000 Rolex. Yeah. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Whatever. That's white trash, right? So dumb. But the guy from Michigan. Now, not to go back on what I said at the top of the show, but the guy from Michigan, he's the one. But anyway, Steiner then puts in some messed up fake teeth, like the kind you get at a gas station, and he does an impression of Ric Flair as Shane Douglas now gets in the ring behind him.
I'm not going to laugh, by the way. I chuckle at that. I can't lie.
It's kind of funny. However, anytime he did anything like that, commenting on Flair's looks, apparently that really pissed Rick off. So
I mean, I get it.
I guess that was a big sore spot with him. Everybody has their thing, so whatever. But anyway, Shane Douglas gets in the ring behind Flair while this is going on. He knocks him the hell out. Security escorts Douglas out of the ring as Steiner comes down, telling Flair that being a 14-time world champion doesn't mean shit. So, that's something.
That's before you can say that on TV, by the way.
Yeah, and he said that a lot during this promo. There were a couple guys that dropped that. We now go backstage to see Kevin Nash coming into the building on crutches. We randomly switch to a dark shot of Bret Hart in the crowd, and the commentary drops. Did you notice this?
I did, yes.
I thought they maybe
I was like,
edited him out.
A commercial and they didn't realize it, or what? What's going on?
Yeah, because it's not just the lighting is dark. I mean, it is, but it's like a gray screen or whatever you get. Because I had to squint. I'm like, oh, it's Bret Hart. Okay. And commentary's dropping, and I'm like, so I can't hear anything they're saying. But like I said, I thought maybe they edited it, but no, it was just a production fail because we come back from commercial and they show him in the crowd clear as day, and they're talking about him now. So, yeah, I don't freaking know, man. This company. And this wasn't the worst of their production fails of this time. We now go backstage with Mean Gene Okerlund standing by with Shane Douglas. Okerlund says that Douglas asked for his release, so he doesn't work here anymore. Douglas says that Flair made a joke out of professional wrestling, and Shane hates him for it. Yeah, out of these two men, Flair is the one who made a joke out of professional wrestling, not the one who did barbed wire matches in ECW. Okay.
Blew a shot in WWE twice, mind you.
Yeah, he was Dean Douglas.
Now, granted, that's not his fault. I'll give him that, but
yeah, no. And I know he hated it and all that stuff. But, like, seriously, like, come the hell on, man. But anyway, Okerlund says that he's not going to dignify that with a response as Douglas walks off. We now get our second quote-unquote match of the night. It's Sting!
Sorry, did you just call this the match of the night?
I said our second quote-unquote match of the night. Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. But it's Sting versus...
Not saying much, but it is.
It's Sting versus Sid Vicious in the first round of the World Title Tournament. It goes 6 minutes, 17 seconds. Yeah. It might be the longest match of the night, actually. I'm not sure if...
Think about that.
Yeah. Here's where I put in my notes. I'm not sure if Sid is a babyface or a heel. He seemed like a babyface earlier, and he's clearly playing a heel in this match, mocking the fans. So, what am I missing?
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. But either way, because we can't get through one single effing match without a bunch of BS, the Wall carries the table to the ring, and the ref gets bumped. The Wall waits for Sid to hit the powerbomb on Sting before hitting him in the back with a chair, taking him outside, and then hitting the shortest chokeslam ever through that table. I think Sid just got up on his tippy toes and then laid back on it. The referee wakes up. Yeah, I was like, really? Like, you couldn't get up a little bit? But the referee wakes up just in... Get this. The referee wakes up. He sees that Sid has been put through an effing table. But he lets it go. He counts Sid out. End of the match. Sting wins. Like, what?
Logic,
like,
bro.
Is that the rule? Bro, I didn't see it happen, so I can't call it, bro. Like, he's clearly been put through a damn table.
Beyond all reasonable doubt.
I guess so. What the F ever? Either way, I'm not going to rate this. I'm not rating any of these matches because they all suck. So you can kind of go from there.
There were short segments that had a bell, like we said.
Yeah, had a bell to break up the monotony. But Tony Schiavone openly admits that he has no idea what the hell is coming up before Ric Flair gets in the ring. Flair says that Shane Douglas made a career out of wanting to be Ric Flair, so he'll be glad to take him on. He then reminds Vince Russo that diamonds are forever, and so are the Four Horsemen. Backstage, we see a bloody, cussing Hulk Hogan, again, still flipping couches and throwing things. Coming back.
You think he did? I found him or something by now. It's been over a half an hour real time.
Or somebody would have calmed him the F down. Like, again, this is an overblown response. You're destroying an arena backstage. Like, scaring the women and children. Whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know. But he's having we come back from commercial, by the way, and he's still screaming and throwing things. This is one long temper tantrum, I will say. Like, hot damn.
You thought Christian 2002 was bad. Just temper tantrums.
Right. Yeah. But just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, we get a recap of the world premiere.
Think that in Vince Russo's WCW.
I know. I know. How stupid of me. How dare I? But I'm trying to be a little positive here. But every time I try, I just get kicked in the ass for it. I always forget. Either way, we get a premiere or a recap of the premiere of Ready to Rumble. So yeah, that
you know who starred in that movie?
Oh well, the future WCW World Heavyweight Champion, David Arquette.
We're a few months away from that happening.
What was his name? Dewey in the Scream franchise.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, he was.
Freaking Dewey.
This came out. He still is Dewey.
Yeah. But up next, we get Jeff Jarrett versus Curt Hennig in the WCW World Heavyweight Title Tournament Semifinals. I guess this went out 4.5 minutes. We get a jump start. We get a jump start in the aisleway. Yet a freaking again, we get more BS. Even Tony Schiavone points this out. A version of Mr. Perfect's theme hits, and Sean Stasiak comes out. Much to your pleasant surprise, I guess, or I'm sure. Commentary points out that he was meat in the WWF.
So my only note on here is meat, and they said it.
Yeah, hey man, if you want to get a guy over coming back, that was meat. You remember him? No, I don't, and you shouldn't either. All right.
I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure that was a Russo thing, though, and meats, right? So
yes, it was.
There you go. Well,
God. Yeah, he must have been super proud of it. Well, the ref gets bumped, of course, and Stasiak attacks Hennig. He proves how much he absolutely sucked because he botches some move on Curt Hennig and leaves. I still don't know what the F he was trying to do.
I don't either. I do not.
It looked almost like, if anybody remembers the 8-second ride, James Storm's move, kind of like that, but dumber. No. Yeah, he just leaves all proud of himself. I'm sure his dad, Stan the Man, was just, ecstatic that this was his offspring. But Jarrett...
Wouldn't you?
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, my son is meat. But Jarrett beats on Curt for a bit before hitting the stroke and pinning him to win. Oh, God. It sucked. I think we've said that about every segment on this show so far, though. So, yeah.
No, that's same thing about Mark Madden one. I didn't say that about that.
I did, but yeah. I know you loved it because Mark Madden's a piece of crap, but yeah. But now we go to the back, and Hulk Hogan is still hunting for Eric Bischoff in a skybox this time in the arena, shouting, "God dang it," over and over and over. He just keeps saying it. Damn it. Damn it. To your point, he might have brain damage at this point. He's just repeating the same thing on a loop. Oh, man. Maybe he's concussed. Spoiler, Bischoff isn't there. Ric Flair's also walking down the hallway, ready to have an impromptu match with Shane Douglas. Because you gotta go through like 5 weeks of material in one night, Greg.
Yeah.
We now come back from commercial break.
God.
We come back from commercial break to see Kevin Nash on a cell phone. He says, "You're going to be here tonight?" And that's the end of it. Spoiler, nobody's there tonight. So they speculate on who it is. You can kind of guess. You're thinking Scott Hall. It's nobody. Nobody's there. But we then go to Mean Gene Okerlund standing by with Sting. Sting says that he's been loyal to WCW and busted his butt since 1988. So apparently that means that he owns Eric Bischoff. Because if an employee's been there longer than the boss, that, makes him the boss's boss, right?
Clearly. It doesn't give you more knowledge than the boss. I can say that from experience, but that's a different story.
Oh, well, I was going to say that's a different point entirely. But yeah. But, God, this was weird. I'll say that. But he then says that next week he's going to take out his and Russo's golden boy, Jeff Jarrett. Yeah. But now we go to Ric Flair versus Shane Douglas in about 3 minutes. Yes, this one has been played up on TV and, in ECW and the dirt sheets and everything for years. And I get that it hasn't been a thing on WCW TV for years. But still, they blow it off in 3 minutes. Do they ever follow up on this, by the way?
I don't remember.
I don't think they did.
No, they move right into him and Kidman, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. So the fact that this didn't lead into any major pay-per-view match, and this just makes this a complete waste of everybody's time. I know WCW at this time was a waste of everybody's time, but still, I stand by what I said. They're both in street clothes, by the way, so that means it's super important. God. Interference percentage is going on 100% now as Vince Russo comes out with a black baseball bat and takes out Ric Flair with it, drawing the disqualification. So, it's not bad enough that Russo has to pour himself out on TV and all that, but now he's stealing Sting's gimmick.
Yeah. But, he's going to do it better, bro.
Bro, I like baseball. Therefore, I carry a baseball bat, bro. What does a scorpion have to do with a baseball bat, bro? I don't get it. He wears face paint. How can I relate to that, bro? Oh, Lord. But Shane Douglas beats down Flair with the bat after the match, quote-unquote match, and Russo crotch chops over Flair's body before stealing his Rolex.
Not just crotch chops. He does it like in a really aggressive way.
You remember, you ever see basketball?
Yeah, a million times.
Okay. You remember that when Squeak was standing over the dude,
Squeak.
just like,
Yep.
he's like freaking a hump in the air over the guy, like,
Yep.
That's what it reminds me of. It's like that's it. he's freaking Squeak. But we now cut to Kevin Nash.
Was Vince Russo the piece of crap or the little bitch? Which one was he?
Yes. But we now cut to Kevin Nash walking on crutches backstage, showing that we're getting another talking segment in the ring, bro.
Oh, baby. Yep.
Yeah. This is
Now let me just
tap.
Let me just say this right now. What's coming up? Any other night, this would have been a great segment. Okay, any other night.
Yeah. Coming back from commercial break, Kevin Nash hobbles his ass to the ring. He says that they've got a couple of jagoffs in the back who are deciding whose careers they're going to make and break. He then says that they're playing wrestler by attacking the boys, not to be confused with Dalton Castle's boys.
The boys.
Nash says that Scott Hall is training, sober. I'm not even going to comment on that one. And in a real bad mood before saying that neither Russo nor Bischoff would be there if not for them. He says that he and Scott saved Russo from being decapitated multiple times by Shawn Michaels. And if not for Scott, Bischoff would still be getting Vern Gagne's coffee. Yikes. Nash finally calls them both out. But Mike Awesome slides in the ring from behind and attacks, beating Nash down with his crutches. Gotta love that fanny pack, though, dude. Like,
so I wrote my notes. Fanny pack and mullet, my new favorite wrestler ever.
Hell yeah, man. Right here, he's that 80s guy, Mike Awesome. But commentary puts over that Awesome is the ECW champion before he grabs a mic and says that this was just too sweet of an opportunity to pass up. Okay, then. So...
Well, he's not lying, apparently.
Yeah. So this was when was it that we would see him versus Taz when neither one of them worked?
A couple of weeks.
Really? Well, I was actually surprised that they said ECW because they never.
I wasn't, only because it's it's Russo.
Yeah, but they never recognized that ECW was even a company. Now they're like, it's ECW champion. Cool. We now go back to Hulk Hogan in his limousine on a cell phone, saying that he doesn't care how much money it costs. He's going to end Kidman and eat Bischoff's ass alive. Well, he just threatened to eat Bischoff's ass, so, there you go. Then he closes the limo door just before the infamous white Hummer T-bones the limo. It backs up and rams the limo twice more. The doors open and Eric Bischoff is driving while Billy Kidman is riding shotgun. Bischoff yells at Hogan to get out of that before they drive off. Apparently, this was the wrap-up to the white Hummer situation from before.
And we still never know who the hell it was supposed to be.
Yeah, but this was allegedly because, Uncle Dave was writing about it. He's like, so are we to believe that it was previously also Eric Bischoff driving the Hummer? Or are multiple people switching that vehicle around?
I don't know. I'm just going to say the second part.
Because didn't we see the white Hummer twice before? Or was it just once?
Just once, to my knowledge. If we saw it more than that, I forget.
What was the first time? Because I honestly forget the situation.
Trying to hit Goldberg, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it was Bischoff in it that time. I don't know. But after the commercial break, Hulk Hogan is being strapped onto a stretcher with a neck brace on. Bischoff walks up and trash talks him as Kidman spray paints NB in red on Hogan's chest. For the new blood. For anybody out there that's a little slow on the uptake. Yeah, because I'm sure the EMTs would just be like, yeah, sure, we're trying to save this man's life, but come up and talk trash and spray paint him. Yeah, we'll let you do that. But we're going to take our second to last break here. When we come back, it is the main event time. Right after this. Follow the Main Event Marks at facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan McCarthy, and I'm the host of the No Credentials Required podcast. Start your work week with the Monday Drop-In, where I talk about the sports beat in the Capital District, also known as the Mighty 518, as well as Metro New York sports from an upstate point of view. I also give a life lesson from a weekly sports story, so you might learn something from that. I also have a midweek podcast where I interview different sports personalities and talk about a wide array of topics. Take a listen and subscribe on your preferred podcast app, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Also check out our social media channels on Twitter and Instagram, BellyUpNCR, and Facebook.com/BellyUpSportsNCR. We're a part of the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network in association with Godzilla Media. No credentials required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/Main Event Marks. And we're back. After Diamond Dallas Page and Sting make their entrances for the next match, Jeff Jarrett comes out to the ring to get on commentary. So before the match even starts, they're already setting it up for shenanigans.
Hell yeah.
But it's DDP with Kimberly Page versus Sting in the World Title Tournament Semifinals. It went 3 minutes, 42 seconds. Yeah, Sting and DDP, less than 4 minutes. Here we go. This is the main event, by the way, in the World Title Tournament. I'm
Sure, we'll call it a main event.
Yeah, I got to point all this out, all right? What a freaking show, man. In the end, Jarrett starts talking trash to Kimberly outside, and DDP slides out and knocks him out. This distracts the referee, so Vampiro slides in and hits the nail in the coffin on Sting. This ends their brothers in paint friendship, I guess.
Which they make sure to put over heavily.
Yeah. It's like, oh, man, because we all cared about that. I don't know. I wasn't watching this time. But DDP slides in again, hits the Diamond Cutter on a basically dead Sting, and wins. So yay. After the match, Jeff Jarrett gets in the ring with his guitar while DDP is celebrating with Kimberly. DDP ducks and Jarrett blasts Kimberly with the guitar before running away. DDP then carries Kimberly to the back. Back in the parking lot, Jeff Jarrett standing by with Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo. They claim that the crowd is calling for him. So he comes back out, does his full entrance, pyro and all, because, we're hemorrhaging money, so let's just do a crap ton of pyro, absolutely destroy a limousine. Why not? Whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, why not?
I'm sorry, I'm lost. I'm sensing some sarcasm there.
Yeah. But Jarrett grabs a mic and he says, it's only 6 days until Spring Stampede when he becomes the world champion. He tells DDP that if he brings his wife out at Spring Stampede again, there will be a real man there that can show her some more wood.
Silas Young.
What the hell? I forgot about him.
The last real man.
You're damn right. But Page runs out and attacks Jarrett, and then Scott Steiner jumps DDP from behind. Lex Luger then comes out to even things up. Buff Bagwell, The Wall, and Vampiro rush in the ring now to beat up Luger and Page. So, you got to get 20 guys on 2. Sting then comes out to clean house now, like he always does. But then Booker T and the Cat come out to jump them. Booker T, by the way, looks like he's he's part of Secret Security or Secret Service. I mean, like he's in like a nice black suit, black tie, white shirt. Like he stole the.
So what? Brother can't wear a suit or what?
Yeah, and Cat is wearing his red shoes. You know, because he's gonna click them together and say there's no place like home.
Because he's the greatest.
Damn straight. Jarrett hits the stroke on DDP, and then the New Blood stands tall. Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff come out onto the stage and shake hands, but then they turn around, and Bret Hart comes out with his arms folded, staring him down. Bischoff and Russo look uneasy as we close the show.
And that Bret Hart thing goes nowhere, by the way.
You take that back. We see follow-up on everything from this show.
I'm pretty sure we don't ever see him again. We see that little glimpse of him at, I think it was New Blood Rising with Lance Storm switching the rules of the match like every 5 seconds. That's about it, though.
Yeah. Yep. That, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, Bret is fully retired by this point. He can't wrestle ever again. So, but this, just wow. Like, they set up a ton of stuff, blew through a month of, like 5 months of material in one show, and then they don't follow up on anything except for some reason the worst stuff on the damn show. Like, what the hell, man? By the way, I gotta point out the final count here for these matches: 1 distraction, 3 outright interferences, and a grand total of 15 minutes and 36 seconds of actual wrestling on a 2-hour wrestling program. This cannot be stressed enough. Why? Well, I wonder why they went out of business, Greg. I'm blown away.
Went out because nobody wanted to see wrestling. That's all WCW wanted to do was wrestle.
Yeah, bro, nobody cares about wrestling, bro. You gotta have storylines about miscarriages and fighting naked in the mud, bro. And all the Mexicans fight over tequila.
Oh, man, don't forget, we got a great Viagra on a pole match coming.
Oh, God, yeah. Buff Bagwell's mama is about to be one half of the tag team champions. Like, some good effing stuff.
That actually already happened. I don't think that was Russo, to be fair. But she's about to put on a forklift, though, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Just my head hurts. This absolutely sucked ass. We're gonna take our second to last break. When we come back, it's final ratings time, and then we'll tell you what's coming up on the podcast right after this. Follow the Main Event Marks at facebook.com/Main Event Marks Pod, on Twitter at Main Event _Marks, and on Instagram at Main Event _Marks and at Main Event Collector.
Hey gang, it's Commissioner Cooper of TSS Fantasy. We are the fantasy show of the people. Expert fantasy advice, free contests, leading expert medical and legal analysis, and most importantly, you. Interact with us on all social media platforms or check us out at tssfantasy.com. You can hear us on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. Check out the fun today and be a part of the most interactive fantasy show around. TSS Fantasy, the fantasy show of the people.
Marks are available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Find all of our links on our link tree at linktr.ee/Main Event Marks. And we're back. Final ratings here. Internet Movie Database.
You sucked through this long. Thank you.
Yeah. This is a long one. I didn't say anything at the top of the show, but yeah, we knew this was going to go long. There's a lot to cover. There's not much we can cut unless we just completely disregarded the news, which I didn't want to do. I feel like that's one of the most fun parts of the whole show. So yeah.
Especially this show, since there's nothing really to watch on this show.
Yeah. I felt like we need to let things breathe on this show and really take a deep dive. So
breathe.
But Internet Movie Database gave this thing 6.2 out of 10. I give it a 6 out of 10 for an F. What say you?
Solid F-.
Look, I'll say this. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but that's only because I've seen some really, really bad things in wrestling.
Oh, because Arquette in the cage is about to come up in the triple cage, so that's that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, keep in mind, everybody, Russo is not gone. he's not going forever, bro. Until like what? August.
I
September?
feel like it's right before Fall Brawl.
Okay, so yeah, September. Yeah. He's gonna hang in there for a while. So we got a lot more terrible things. If you want more WCW from around this era, like not
why?
If you don't want to watch it, but you want to hear me and Greg crap on it and have some fun, we have New Blood Rising, as we said, in the archives now. And we've got, as I mentioned before as well, our Vince Russo runs WCW ... into the ground bonus show. Those are something. But yeah, overall, the show sucked, but I wanted to cover it because it, good, bad, or indifferent, it was an historic show. Look, and I think you said this before, not everything historic is good, okay? It just historic doesn't mean, well, that was worth it. It just means that, it was noteworthy. But that does it for that. April 27th, we're closing out the month, Greg. We got one more lockdown to go for its 10-year anniversary. We're going to cover TNA Lockdown 2012. We have not covered a TNA show from this close back in history yet. So I'm looking forward to watching this. I actually have it pulled up. I'm going to watch as soon as we're done recording here. So looking forward to watching that. But
yeah, I like to watch them.
Of course, a shirt now on our Redbubble store. I think it's on our Bonfire as well. Go check out the I Like to Watch shirt that we got, our design.
It's a real shirt. It's a real shirt.
Yep. It says I Like to Watch, and then it's got a VHS tape with our logo on it. If you don't know what VHS is, well, she's too young for you, bro.
Holy crap.
But we're getting into the month of May here. It's going to be May.
Oh, mother may I.
This is actually mostly, not entirely, but mostly a good month that we have for our schedule here.
Oh, spoiler, there is Wrestlepalooza on here, so...
Yeah. Oh, good. That's what I was referring to. This is going to be the good part.
Wow.
Anyway.
I want to slap you in the face for that.
On Star Wars Day, May the 4th, it is our 100th episode. We have not revealed yet what it is going to be, but officially, right now, we'll let you know. We're going to cover WWF Judgment Day from 2000. This one, I have not watched it back yet. I don't think I've ever seen the show, so I'm excited to watch it. It looks good. Other podcasts have talked about it. So, looking forward to actually seeing it. And I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I really liked the Biker Taker gimmick. So...
Should have changed the name, though.
Oh, well, yeah, he should have just went with Mark Calloway. He's not the Undertaker. But anyway, yeah. May 11th, we're following Judgment Day up with this. For all of our ECW fans out there, I can't believe you're sticking around after everything we've said about it. But, whatever. On May 11th, we are covering ECW's Wrestlepalooza 1998. What an effing name for a show, man. Wrestlepalooza.
I'm getting sick of you in the sarcasm, dude. I really am.
When I see Palooza in a title, it's got my money. I wanted to cover this show, honestly, for literally two reasons. The first one is RVD takes on Sabu on this card, and that's always pretty good. It's either pretty good to great. So... and the other reason is because Al Snow gets a shot at the ECW World Title in the main event against Shane Douglas. Looking forward to seeing that. The only thing I'm not going to like is obviously they edit out all the licensed music, whatever, on Peacock. And Al Snow used to come out to Head Like a Hole by 9 Inch Nails, and I love that song.
And I'm now okay with them editing out music. Cool.
Wow. But then, coming up on May 18th is our next walk through the year 2007 in TNA as we cover Sacrifice for its 15-year anniversary. The main event of this one is a triple threat. It's Christian Cage defending the NWA title against Kurt Angle and Sting. Samoa Joe takes on AJ Styles on the show. It looks pretty good. So... it's a good follow-up to Lockdown, which all in all was a pretty good show. Everybody should go back and listen to in the archives, Lockdown 2007. Those shows were always fun. And then for the bonus that week, we're also covering the very first ever Saturday night's main event. Funny thing about those is like the main event like started the show, basically. Like I didn't Pritchard say that was because like they front loaded it because they figured everybody would fall asleep before the end of the show or something.
Yep. And go figure, I was one of those. Got my Hogan fix in, went to bed.
Yeah. Well, this one took place on May 10th, 1985. The opening match was actually a 6-man tag. It was the U.S. Express, which was Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham, teaming with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with Lou Albano in their corner. They take on Nikolai Volkov, Iron Sheik, and George Steele with Freddie Blassie in their corner. And
sign my ass up.
Damn straight, man. And that's the lead-in because guess what, man? Hulk Hogan with Mr. T in his corner, by the way, defends the WWF World Heavyweight title against Cowboy Bob Orton. Hell yeah.
Man, I want to watch it right now.
Damn straight. Obviously, Orton's got Piper in his corner. We could see Wendy Richter defend the women's championship against Fabulous Moolah, and the show closes with Junkyard Dog against somebody named Pete Doherty. K. Yeah, I don't know who the hell that is, but like I said, the main event, the actual like main event on the card is not the last match. So there you go. But that is the bonus show for May. Finally, closing out the month, we'll let you know May 25th. It's WCW Slamboree 1997. You and I like the year 1997 in wrestling, so I figured I'd jam as much in to our schedule as possible.
I find it funny that 97 and 07 are a couple of great years.
Yeah, right?
Was 87 good? Was 2017 good? I'll have to go back and look now.
87 in NWA.
87 is WrestleMania 3 season or year, so.
It was historic, so yeah. 17, I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that was like jumps out at me like, oh man. But yeah, so Slamboree though, I mean, this got an interesting main event. We actually talked about it on the our last 97 podcast. Actually, it's Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, and Kevin Green versus Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Syxx in the main event.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's not as bad as you think it might be.
Yeah, I mean, there's guys in that match that can definitely work. I like every guy in this match. So, and Kevin Green didn't suck in the ring either.
Kevin Green's one of the celebrities that was actually good in the ring.
Yeah, right. Well, and he actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So
oddly enough, I feel like just like Logan Paul, who I thought was going to be a catastrophe, ended up being damn good. So you just never know.
I figured he would take it seriously because he didn't want to look like a complete idiot. But he was going to troll the entire time, which he freaking did. And, you know, whatever. He's very hateable. We get Steiner Brothers.
It, man.
Exactly. Steiner Brothers take on Conan and Hugh Morris on this card. The one I'm looking forward to seeing, though, man,
I am Dungeon of Doom. Sorry.
The one I'm looking forward to seeing the most on this card, man. Steve Mongo McMichael versus Reggie White with Kent Johnson in his corner. Or Johnston, excuse me. Yeah, man, that one. Even if the match is presentable, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
You got to give a quarter of an hour to this?
No disrespect to Reggie White, though. I know he's since passed away, but.
And how dare you give them 15 minutes and you only give Glacier and Mortis less than 2 minutes? Come on now. Something ain't right.
And no date with Glacier?
I know. It's just all kind of effed up, man. Oh gosh. We do have some good looking matches on this show, though. I am looking forward to watching it. As much as we just mocked it, whatever. There's some good stuff on here. Slamboree was always
good stuff.
Slamboree was usually fun. I'll say that. And that closes out our May. Thanks to everyone who stuck around with us and listened and hung in there on this one, dude. But,
you were tough.
Yes, you're a true fan. I appreciate your listening in. Tell your friends and family and all that stuff. And we will see you all on Wednesday when we cover Lockdown 2012.